This is Continuum Drag, a podcast where we watch sci-fi, fantasy, and everything in between. This week, Space Precinct, episodes 1 and 2.
As I said, we have a hearing tomorrow at 6. I want you to give our witness round-the-clock security until then. Never leave his side. Understood?
Understood. What's his name?
His name's Armored Loister, business exec from Melozoid 1. He's different.
Welcome to Continuum Drag, the podcast getting its alien freak on. I'm Luke, here with my co-host Jordan. What's real, Jordan?
Here is my favorite quote from the 2 episodes we watched. One character said to the other character, "Come here, you piece of sludge." And I really enjoy when these science fiction shows come up with like the in-world insults. So you call someone sludge in this world.
Well, not to tip our hand too much, but this show comes up with a lot of classic tropes we like, a lot of alien food as well.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into it, we have to welcome a guest to the podcast because we're being joined today by Bazil. Bazil, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Food was also, I think, part of one of my favorite parts of the show, just by and large.
Oh, good. Well, before we get started, I wanted to ask you, as we do with all of our first-time guests, what your history is with sci-fi TV. Were you a fan? Is this something that was part of your media diet? What's going on with you?
I mean, I kind of grew up with it, not super intensely, but my dad was a Trekkie. I watched like Voyager as it came out on TV. Like I watched the series finale and all that, like live on television. I didn't understand the implications because I was pretty young, but I'm a pretty big sci-fi fan, but I wouldn't say like a diehard, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Also, you didn't understand the implications of Borg tunnels.
No, not at all. No. I mean, I understood that they were big, but not none of the intricacies.
Is that what happened at the end? It was all about tunnels?
I didn't watch the finale of Voyager until very recently, and yeah, the end of it is they find out that Borg have like subspace tunnels throughout the universe. That's how they get places, and that's how they get home to Earth.
Oh.
And then spoiler alert, the big like Deus Ex Machina is like actual armor on the ship instead of like energy armor on the ship. Like they just cover it in metal plates, and it's like that's how the Voyager survives, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think you're correct. It's been a while, but I think you're correct. Not to get too far off topic, but
Sure.
See that new Voyager video game that's coming out?
Oh, I did. Yes, I'm pretty excited about it.
It's pretty good. Jordan, did you see it?
No.
You get to play the captain of Voyager, and the whole thing is you just get to fly the entire 7-year mission back to Earth, but just make whatever choices you want along the way. So you're like, do you want to kill when Neelix and Tuvok became Tuvix? Do you want to kill him or not kill him? You just get to answer all these moral questions about whether to like start like wars and stuff. It looks hilarious.
It's wild. It looks wild, yeah.
Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the 1994 television program Space Precinct. Have either of you ever seen or heard of this show previous to this?
No, I never had.
This was my first experience.
Me either. It's not something I was aware of, but I guess part of it is probably because it was broadcast on Sky One in the UK from September 26, 94 to May 1st, 95. So it was, for some reason, playing in the UK, even though it seems very American.
Right. The two main like officers are distinctly like American accent users, right?
Yeah, they're heavy accent users, American-wise.
I don't know if they're American or if they're put on by British actors, which would be a wild choice, but like distinctly they're like American, right? Or North American anyway.
I think so, and it feels like a lot of shows we've watched from this era with like tough cops who are just trying to do their job.
Is that indexical of like the tough cop like trope is just be having a strong American accent?
I don't know if the accent so much is a thing as much as, like the family's at home, but I got to solve this case, job comes first despite everything else.
Right.
It felt very much in the tech war vein or something. We've watched a lot of these like cop adjacent sci-fi shows where it's like one cool dude who wears a leather jacket and sunglasses has to solve all the problems.
It doesn't hurt. the leather jacket doesn't hurt anyway, right?
It does not hurt. It never hurts. This guy I don't think has put one on, but I feel like he will. I also was, as soon as I saw he had a family, I was just like, feel like this family's in jeopardy of a retooling to get him to be like a cool single guy.
No, I think that's what the partner's for.
I think you're probably right.
That he's supposed to be the cool single guy.
Yeah. The
Right,
feeling
right,
I
right.
get is, you're right, Luke. If they didn't have the partner there, he'd have to his family would have to either die or get relocated somewhere. But because they have the sexy, I guess, like, for lack of a better term, like sort of ladies' man partner, I think that will be they'll be able to get the dating episodes out with him.
And they build in the potential romance with Officer Jane Castle
Immediately.
Immediately. Like the number of subplots that are dropped in the first 18 minutes. I looked down at my phone because I was watching it on my phone on my couch the first episode before I put it on my TV. I was like, this is a TV experience. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I looked down at my phone to see the time, and I was like, it's been 18 minutes, and they've introduced so many things that I had to start writing them down because there were so many subplots and A and B and C lines.
Oh my God. Well, before we get into the show itself, I usually like when we start a new TV series to look at what was going on in the world around the time the show was on air. So I've gone on a deep Wikipedia dive to see if there was anything interesting happening between September 26th, 94 and May 1st, 95. And here's what I've got. On November 7th, 94, the first internet radio broadcast happened.
What was that?
Streaming just getting started. It was from the University in North Carolina. They were just started hosting their radio show on the internet for anyone.
Cool.
December 3rd, 94, the PlayStation is released.
Oh, that's very topical considering some of the stuff in the episode, right?
That's true. There's some video games. We got a lot. There's so much good stuff that we love to see
So
in these
much.
shows in this episode. January 1st, 1995, the final Far Side comic.
Oh yeah, Farsight, Gary Larson.
Wow.
Baby Jordan's weeping. His favorite comic strip from the newspaper's over.
That was a good one. Come on, everyone enjoyed the Far Side.
It was very good.
It's a good one, yeah.
Cow tools. That's everyone's favorite meme, right? This is relevant as we talked about a sister incident on our last podcast. April 19th, Oklahoma City bombing.
Yeah, I remember
Also
that.
topical because there's so many explosions in this TV
That's
show.
true. That's true.
I don't know how topical that is.
I guess.
I remember that one. I think that was my first terrorism. That's the one I remember first.
You always remember your first.
And then, just for fun, born while this show was on the air are 3 celebrities, Jordan.
Oh no,
You
I'm not
love
gonna
when
know who they are.
celebrities are born, especially from the 94 period.
Okay, let's see who these people are.
October 23rd, 94, Margaret Qualley, our new Demi Moore.
Oh yeah, okay. What's her face's daughter, right?
Is she someone's daughter? Margaret Qualley?
Yeah, isn't she Andy McDowell's daughter?
If you say so.
I'll look it up while you're doing someone else.
I just know her from The Substance. September 15th, 95, Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh,
yeah?
wow.
And on April 1st, 1995, playing an April Fool's joke on the world, Logan Paul is born.
Wow. Truly a triple threat right there.
He's our generation's Andy Kaufman.
Oh, our generation has a real low bar, huh?
By the way, she is Andy McDowell's daughter.
Oh,
Nepo baby.
interesting. They all are, Jordan.
Yeah, I know. There's no point getting angry anymore. They all are.
It turns out we just didn't know before. I think everyone has always been a Nepo baby. We just weren't paying attention before.
Yeah, fair.
Right.
And this is a game you can play too, Bazil, but Jordan loves, because he's a self-proclaimed Oscar savant, he loves to
But I'm doing really badly.
He loves to guess who the host was and the best picture for the years things came out. This is the 95 67th Academy Awards. Yes, Jordan rarely gets it right, though, claims to know it all, so we'll see how it goes.
I'm always a year off.
What do you guys think? The best picture? It's 95.
Braveheart.
Basil, any idea?
95, no idea. Jurassic Park.
Braveheart.
That's too late, right?
Braveheart.
It is too late. And who is the host of the Oscars? I know Jordan will want to get this one.
95 was Letterman, wasn't it?
All right. Well, Jordan, it was Letterman who hosted, but the best picture was Forrest Gump.
Oh, because 94.
Oh.
Damn it.
I think I was trying to will into a world, a timeline where Jurassic Park would have ever gotten Best Picture.
I know,
I
Best
think that's what I
Picture.
was
That
trying
would
to
have
do.
been a
Yeah.
great timeline.
Yeah. I think that's just what I wanted.
And finally, before we get into the episode, I'm really just dragging this out. Jordan, there were, let me count, 7 TV shows on at the same time as the show that we've watched and continue to drag, and 1 TV movie. This is our like prime time for watching TV shows. This era is like we've watched the most.
Let's see. What's that? Night. Final Vampire. What was that show
If
called?
only you remember the name of any of the shows we watched.
The Final Vampire.
Forever
Is that on?
Night.
Yeah, is that one?
Yeah, that's 1.
You got RoboCop. Was that one?
That's 1. That's 2.
Tech War.
That's 3.
What's it called on deep space underwater time?
Sequest. That is
Sequest.
another one.
And hey, I'm doing pretty well.
That's 4 out of 7. You've done incredibly well.
And I'm trying to remember what else.
You
was
can
on
tap
this
out
time.
whenever you want.
Oh, that Time Cop.
No Time Cop, I'm afraid.
Okay, I'll tap out here.
It was also Earth 2, Sliders, and Legend.
Oh, Legend. I should have got Legend, of course.
You know what's funny? I think you got all of the names that were just like adjective noun, and the ones that remained were not adjective noun.
Yeah. It might be a learning disability.
And you'll never guess the TV movie because it was called Trapped in Space.
Oh, yeah. I remember Trapped in Space.
That was so bad. But anyway, let's keep going. Here we go. Here's the IMDb summary for episode 1, Protect and Survive. When a police informant, Slick Ostrich Guy, learns that Tylen Gershom is the mastermind behind a smuggling operation, he is soon murdered. Brogan and Haldane are assigned to keep the sole key witness in Slick's murder alive.
Okay, let me just mention something before, or it's more of a question before we really get going. Luke, as you struggled through that, and I don't blame you because I couldn't keep track of any of these names or places or things. There was something I thought of, and as it was mentioned, Star Trek earlier on, and I know that's the granddaddy that we always compare everything to. Star Trek always had like at least a couple aliens, so we reminded you, it's the future, and it's a galactic universe, and there's different species. I'm gonna throw this out here now. Do you think maybe the show might have too many aliens? like maybe problematically so?
Yeah, like there were a couple of humans to remind us that it was actually like maybe a human storyline. Like
Exactly.
It's the exact reverse. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
You're right. You're so right.
Because they also can't really emote, right?
No, not at all. There are like 3 emotions that any of those face puppets have.
I will say the puppetry is amazing. I couldn't believe how much puppetry was going on in this show. But you're right. There are 3 humans in a cast of dozens. Like dozens of characters. Only 3 of them are human. The rest are just the freakiest looking aliens you've ever seen.
And like maybe 6 of them are gray with like bumpy heads, and you have to keep track of them. I'm like, oh, it's bumpy head guy number 6. He's a rascal.
Yeah,
We'll get
and
into
it's
it.
like- Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, just and it's like maybe that one has like more hair to indicate age, possibly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will never have enough time to cover all these. I've written some down. We can talk about them as we go because I've got their races down. We can describe what they look like. But
cool.
that some of them have hair and some of them don't within the same species of alien.
Yeah.
And it's so upsetting to see like the aliens with hair. It makes me viscerally ill.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a nice opening credits that it gives us a series explainer because there's really no like pilot episode where they introduce the characters. It's just like, go, here we go, we're in the show. Mm-hmm. But the little we get is that our hero is Lieutenant Patrick Brogan, which is a great hero name.
Mm-hmm.
He is from the NYPD, and 20 years ago he was transferred into space with his family. Which just, I had so many questions around the jurisdiction. Like, can you get transferred from the NYPD to not just another country, but like space? Does that, like, what does that mean for the world?
Like, how big is the precinct of space? If you're transferred there, is your precinct just all of space now? Or is it just like generally nearby space?
Well, and does that mean space is American?
Yeah.
Well, they're on a specific city in a specific planet in a specific region, correct?
Is this Earth? I couldn't figure that out.
No, it's not. It's not Earth.
It's not Earth? Okay.
No.
I know they called them the DCPD, and I only found out when reading one of the summaries that stands for Demeter City, and I was like, that answers no questions for me.
Well, I had a question about that because the first thing that came up to my mind when they said Demeter was, in my head, was Dracula. Because remember, Demeter was the boat in Dracula?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But then I was like, what else is Demeter from? And it's a Greek god. And so I
Yeah.
looked it up, and it's the goddess of harvest, fertility, and earth. But I was like, does that... I couldn't tell if they were trying to like tell us something there.
That's all the themes of this show.
Is that it? Fertility?
Yeah.
Yeah, so many questions that are unanswered in this pilot. I will say, though, this is just for listeners of the podcast and Jordan. This is the return of a pre-cap, Basil. That's a recap the show would do at the start, except this one pre-caps the entire episode you're about to watch.
These are exciting, though. They really they make you jazzed up before the episode.
There was one part of the pre-cap that really got me jazzed up. I don't know if you know which part it was, if you want to guess.
The explosions?
No, the Hulk punch that sent somebody flying. I can't believe they put that in the pre-cap. It was insane.
I will say, this is 94. I don't think this is the latest in the timeline of these shows we've watched where I've seen a pre-cap happen. These usually happen in the 70s on shows we watch, but 94, I can't believe I'm seeing a pre-cap.
I wonder if they were trying to evoke that
Nostalgia?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe the UK just still had them.
I think they're just trying to grab you. They're trying to grab you in. Oh, can I mention one other quick thing? Just because for some reason that reminds me, and Luke, we'll get to the episode in a second. So I watched these episodes without reading anything, and then I went back and I looked at a few things. So it's called Space Precinct, and in the logo it says Space Precinct 2040. It doesn't take place in 2040.
I assume that's his badge number.
It's his badge number, but why would you put that as the logo? It's so
That's
stupid.
crazy.
That's like
crazy.
Star Trek Deep Space Nine. The 9 is unrelated. It's just how many people Cisco slept with.
The 9's just one of the office numbers they work on.
Just why would you put it in the logo?
That's actually wild.
I was also wondering if that was supposed to be the date, and I was like, that's very near future for this, but nope, it's just his badge number, huh?
Yeah, it's apparently 26 years in the future from when this show was, which was, 1994?
So it's not even as far as 2040. It's actually 2024.
Yeah.
It's more ambitious than
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really thought a lot was going to happen in 25 years.
I guess that would be 2020, so it would have been the year of the pandemic they assumed this would happen.
Oh my God.
Which is interesting because that ties into the plot. Because as we begin, Brogan, our hero, and his partner Haldane are staking out a smuggling trade that's going down. Well, they're eating a corn dog out of the cop car's corn dog dispenser. The cop car has a corn dog dispenser.
This was a joke, right?
I mean, it's a good question. Is this a joke?
Yeah, is it? I didn't know if it was I love the idea that it's not just like a food replicator. It is just a corn dog replicator.
It's just at some point the car gets bumped and ketchup squirts out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was like a kind of a cheeky way of showing a technology they have, or if it was like a character development, can you believe how much hot dogs this guy eats? Or if it was just the
Right.
gag of wouldn't it be funny if ketchup splattered on someone? But after the episode, I was like, we'll never know.
Yeah.
I mean, I was also just I'm like, is this going to be a comedy when it started? Because it was this whole corn dog thing seems like pretty broad joke stuff. There's no further jokes in the episode, though.
It gets extremely serious. Yeah.
No, it's a very good point because this show, and this will be something I'm sure we'll talk about, has some weird issues with tone, and I know that people kind of blame it, on its cancellation on that, but it sort of looks and kind of feels like a kid show, but then with really gritty adult plots.
It's like
and
you
you're
put NYPD Blue into a kid show.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
sorry, is this for kids or is this for adults or is this something in between? Is it supposed to be an adult show that kids can enjoy or vice
It's for
versa?
everyone, Jordan.
It's for everyone, but I'm not sure.
Anyway, the cops end up getting in a flying car chase with the illegal Zero Knights, I believe they're called. And we get to see some of the show's Strength, which is some great miniature work here. They've got lots of miniature cars flying through a miniature city. It looks good. There's
Really good.
crashes and explosions. This part actually looks great.
Yeah, I like the miniatures. I thought they were fun.
Very cool practical effects. Yeah.
And after one of the flying cars crash, they end up in like a laser gun fight as they take down one of the alien smugglers in like an alien meat hanger where this weird alien meat's hanging off hooks like it's in the back of a refrigerated truck.
Yeah, so there's a few things I'll just mention. So the first thing I thought is there's so many aliens in this, but then other aliens are eating other species of aliens, because then we also see later Johnny Tutu, what's our lead's name?
Brogan.
Yeah.
When Brogan, his family, he's got like an alien pet. I was like, I don't understand. It seems like everyone's enslaving or eating each other.
These are just alien cows.
And an alien, not only an alien pet, one that we later find out has enough sentience to have language, like speaks with the daughter. So it's like an enslaved pet. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, at some point
weird.
you're like, not to get into that because that's like an episode away, but like at some point that alien pet has to give consent to pet it. I was like, there's a lot going on with this alien pet.
Yeah.
Anyway, the heroes manage to shoot and kill one of the smugglers and arrest the other ones. And I will say this one thing about this show, and this is where you get into kind of the who's this for, is these guys, our two heroes, are surprisingly like weirdly like authentic cops in that they're kind of bad people. Like they're mean, they're a little bit like xenophobic, they hate immigrants. There's like at some point very early on, because they're talking about illegal sneaking in, they're gotta arrest all these. I'm like, are we watching Space Ice? Like I was just like,
Literally.
what is happening here?
Yeah,
like it felt like I was gonna watch a show about immigration suddenly. I'm like, and they're like, because they killed the one alien, they're just like, how can you tell if it's dead? And they're like, who knows with these disgusting creatures? I'm like, what's wrong? Why are these cops like so like awful in a way? Like I thought this would be like, obviously propaganda, since they're like the leads of our show. We're gonna have like heroes, but I'm like, it's not the case though. We'll get into it more, but like they hate aliens. They like viscerally hate the people who they're assigned to like protect.
And who they work with every day, like, because like they seem to have really like okay relationships with their coworkers who are distinctly also very weird aliens, but somehow these illegal ones, you're just disgusting weird freaks. Yeah,
it was so weird for the tone. Anyway, because they've managed to catch 4 of these Zero Knights, we get to have an interrogation scene, but. First of all, let's talk about the Zero Knights first. Can you guys describe what these particular aliens look like?
these were the ones that were like in the robes, right? The like
Yes,
Jedi,
yes.
almost Jedi-esque robes.
Yeah, they're in robes. They're all gray. They kind of have flat, kind of like really droopy faces.
Yeah, they look old.
Am I remembering hair or something dangling, or am I mixing that up?
Oh,
with
they
the
might.
robes
Yeah, they
themselves?
might have had it underneath the hanging up the robes. Yeah, they were a very odd species. This one, very gray.
Yeah. Kind of melty, pretty pathetic looking. Yeah, bags under the eyes. Like this didn't look like they were in a good way as a species. Not like these four in particular.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But they're being interrogated by another cop team who works at the Space Precinct. There's Detective Jane Castle, who, as you mentioned earlier, is set up primarily to be Detective Haldane's love interest.
Or at least to get hit on.
Yeah.
And then there's also her partner, Tookie, a three-eyed sexy Yoda with telepathic and telekinetic powers.
And they show you right off the bat because I think it's a she, is that okay to say? We don't know. So, but
If it's not a she, they have very beautiful lips. They're sultry lips, and like they really focus on them in the episode.
they show their ability with, I'm assuming the telepathy is done through their third eye, and they sort of float their hat on their head before they leave the office, which I suppose is something you would do if you could levitate things.
Yeah, this species has very odd. They like can lift things with their minds, but they can also kind of Deanna Troi like read emotions, I guess is the idea. They're like sort of filling those roles on within the context of the shows. Like they can, in the interrogation, tell if people are lying, and then have a minor ability to like move things with their mind. And yeah, I don't know. To me, I just kept thinking Yoda when I looked at this. But did you guys have any other descriptions of this particular alien?
No, it was very blue Yoda
With one eye in the middle of his forehead.
in the middle of the forehead. And it was I did think it was interesting that in order to use the third eye, the other two like sight eyes had to close, like you had to close your other two eyes in order to open the third eye to use your powers.
It's
I
a
didn't
giveaway
notice
that you're using
That's
your
very
powers.
funny.
Yeah. Just to make it clear to everybody that
Yeah.
it's powers time.
Anyway, these two are interrogating these alien illegals. Illegals have absolutely no information to help them. They just have a bad case of Zyron fever.
Which Tukey
Tukey.
Tukey is like immediately infected with, right?
Absolutely. We get like these two weird front desk aliens who are gonna, I guess, are almost comic relief. They're from a race known as the Cyrons. They're the first ones to notice that Tukey's caught the fever when she collapses. But really quick, the Creons. Sorry, it's Creons. How would you describe these Creons now? Because this is another new alien species.
Wrinkly. I wrote all of them as just wrinkly, gray and wrinkly.
The Creons are like somewhat hammerhead sharky in their eye placement, right?
Yeah, they got really wide set eyes. Like it felt like a little ET-esque.
Yeah, definitely ET colors and like textures.
And these creatures were crazy because like they're clearly a person in a suit, but someone has to like work. The eyes are so far apart. Someone's like puppeting the eyes separately, and it's like wild to look at.
No, sorry. There's a point where Tukey is like looking to get like pick up a glass or a mug or write something down, and you can clearly see whoever is in that suit has to like bend over in the most inorganic way to see through whatever eye hole they have that isn't Tukey's real eyes to see onto the table that they're looking at, because whatever arrangement is completely inhuman. Yeah.
It's a good point, though, because it seems like, and I could be wrong, it may not be 100%, but it seems like almost all the aliens, it's pretty much just neck up where they're aliens. 'Cause it seems like they have, well, for lack of a better term, humanoid bodies, where they, and even it seems like their hands are like, I didn't see any extra fingers or anything like that. It's just that they've have these poor actors just with gigantic heads on their shoulders that they have to walk around with.
It is crazy. Again, there's so many of them. Like, they had to make so many of these like puppeteered masks. It's crazy. And these ones, yeah, they're like they've got weird wide set eyes, and these alien race, they're the ones that will intermittently have hair or not have hair, and the hair isn't thick, it's quite spindly when they have it. And I think one of them had a goatee at some point, and I was so upset.
It's horrible. It's so horrible. Yeah.
Anyway, these two front desk officers kind of are the comic relief of the episode. For most of the episode, we'll see them. They're constantly trying to win tickets to the big slam ball finals by getting a level 12 on a bit game. So this is what, every time we cut back to them, they're just trying to like get these slam ball tickets by playing this video game that we never see.
Which seems to be the big game in Demeter or whatever they pronounce it.
I mean,
yeah, it's Fortnite.
I mean, not to date this episode, but Jordan's got Blue Jays fever, and as we record right now, they're playing Game 7, and he's got his hat on, he's wearing his jersey. He can't believe he's missing it for the podcast.
I was wondering what the blue face paint was all about.
No, that's unrelated.
Okay, I see. You're the big Tukey fan. I see.
Yeah, that's right.
Jordan, do you think they'll win?
Yeah. You know what?
Nice.
Hold on. No, and then we could just pick whenever one in the edit.
when this comes out in a month or something, we can decide whether they won or lost.
That's right.
Anyway, when Tukey collapses from having Zyron fever, they call in the Precinct's robot, which is just another creature that, like, there's so many creatures start rolling out. Its name is Slow-Mo.
Yeah.
It
sounds like an insult.
Is it referential? Yeah, it's just mean, right?
It seems just mean. And how would you describe Slow-Mo the robot?
It looks a little bit like the robot at in the Mandarin restaurant that comes around and sings you happy birthday. Is that just for me?
Whoa.
In the Mandarin now, they have a robot that goes around and sings you happy birthday.
Oh, it's a TV show. I thought you went to a Mandarin restaurant.
No, Mandarin restaurant.
I was also confused. Oh.
What?
At the Mandarin restaurant, there's a robot that looks like Slow-Mo that comes around and starts playing music and helps the waiters sing happy birthday. I'm telling you.
Where are you eating? What is happening in your world?
This is real life?
This is real life, guys. You have to go to the Mandarin.
All right, next time you're there for your birthday, get a video for me.
All right, Will.
I felt like it looked a lot like, or at least passingly like, that Nintendo robot, Rob from the original Nintendo.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Except its head is so huge. It's way too top heavy. It would fall over all of the time.
Yeah, you know that it's like just hollow plastic on the inside and then wheels. Otherwise, it would just be.
The like body's like a saucer that's 3 times the size of the body it's rolling around. And also, is Slow-Mo dumb? Slow-Mo seems to be a dumb robot.
What is the point of Slow-Mo in terms of their world in the precinct? What is it supposed to be doing?
It's supposed to roll out to find Tookie laying on the floor, and then, quote, here's its exact phrase when it finds Tookie. The robot rolls out, because they call it. It looks down at the incapacitated officer and says, "Uh-oh, Zyron fever." It says,
"Uh-oh." The diagnosis.
I couldn't make out this robot. I was like, it appears to be the stupid guy at the office, and I'm like, but it's a giant robot.
Maybe it's like a medical robot, but they've just like over-programmed the bedside manner so that it just talks like, "Uh-oh, you got fever," just to like soften the blow when you learn that you got space COVID.
Yeah, exactly. This is where it comes in. Tookie's so ill they have to put her in quarantine, and essentially there's nothing they can do. The episode's just like, well, we'll just wait and see if she lives or dies. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But what we do find out is that there's a bad guy named Gershom who is who's for some reason, I never really get into it. They're just like, he's smuggling Zyron fever into the city. And I'm like, okay, why? They never get into it though.
To what end?
And their informant who turned them on to this ring, a guy named Slick, he was the one who was staking out the original scene with Brogan. I guess Gershom has found out he's been talking to the cops, and in the most playful way possible, Gershom kills Slick. It's so playful.
It's so funny.
They take out Chekhov's remote control car gun, and shoot the gun onto the hood of a car, which attaches a device that allows the car now to be a remote control. And then Gershon takes a little device and drives the car around remotely while Slick is inside for a while before he just crashes into a wall with the biggest explosion possible.
He's got to have a little fun with it at first.
Yeah, it's not the immediate crash boom. He just definitely takes him for a little bit of a joyride.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just has a little fun. It's a very playful way to kill someone.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is sort of setting up the stakes of the episode because we're I think probably 17 minutes in, a million characters. Slick's dead. This must be the crime we're solving. And then cut to, we're introducing Detective Brogan's home life by visiting his family on a bicycle wheel-shaped space station that they live on, which appears, I think, in this world is basically the suburbs.
Because it's contrasted against downtown, right?
Yeah, because they're very upset about downtown, but I feel like the space station is just like where they live, but you have to go to the city to go down. You have to go to the planet to go downtown, I think.
That's sort of what I was trying. Yeah, I think that's the conclusion I came to.
Do you think it's needed though? Because at first I was like, why didn't they just have the whole thing take place on this space station, or have it all take place in the city? Is it other than this one line where they're like, "Hey, Billy, whatever the kid's name is, don't go downtown onto the planet." Other than that, is it ever going to have an effect on the show? Because I don't know what the point is.
As far as I can tell, it is just supposed to be this is the suburbs, which is all of this is very true to policing in some ways. It's your police officers don't live in the communities they serve. They live in other communities and then drive into work where they don't like the people who live in that community and are mean to them. And I'm just it's kind of accurate to policing in some ways, but I'm I don't think that's what this show is going for, that level of accuracy.
No, it's so funny. It actually, because this is getting a little ahead of it, because it's so funny because Brogan, right? Brogan is constantly to his son, "I don't want you going downtown. I know what people are like down there." And his son is like, "No, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends." And then I don't remember if it's this episode or the next episode, but something really bad happens. Oh no, it is this episode. I'm not gonna spoil that part, but something really bad happens, and the end result is his mom is the Brogan's wife is just let him be a kid, let him go downtown. And the like moral of the story ends up being, actually, I don't want my son to go downtown. It is dangerous down there. And so it isn't about this like the communities are misunderstood. It is just like cops go to dangerous bad places and get the dangerous bad people.
Well, that's just it. It is like a weird moral lesson because throughout the episode, Brogan and his wife are like quite tense and fighting about like whether the son should go downtown. And the wife like makes the point, just like, no, you just see the bad areas of places because of your job. Like,
Yeah.
like she's making a very reasonable case for like there are places that are good downtown that people can just go and like have dinner and have a nice time there. It's not like all dangerous. It's just because of your like skewed perspective. She makes that case to her husband. And he's just, but at the end of the episode, it's just like, no, everyone is scum downtown.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, wow, this is so nuanced until they walk it fully back. Yeah.
Anyway, what we see at this house is we get to meet Brogan's wife. Is her name Sally? I forgot to write it down.
Her name is Sally. Yes.
It is Sally. They've got two kids, a teen and a preteen, a son and a daughter. And when we come in, we see the son playing a VR video game, which I love anything from the 90s when we get to see them playing VR. Yeah. And it's always very accurate to what VR ended up being.
Yeah.
Just seeing someone sit in a room enjoying themselves, but no one else around them is.
With the headset on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so funny. Like, he's called to dinner, and the son's like, I'm busy. I'm doing my homework. And then Brogan, like, puts his foot down. He's just like, you get out here right now. I just got home from work. We're having dinner. And they proceed to have the most tense family meal. Like, it's like everyone's walking around on eggshells around Dad. Mom has made alien meat for dinner. It's called center squab. And Dad won't touch it. He won't eat it. He's not going to eat this weird, gross meat. He just had a hard day at work. He's not going to eat this weird, gross meat. And the only time Dad lightens up is when the son plays a prank on the daughter by making her carrots scream when she cuts them. And the dad is like killing himself laughing at this prank.
Yeah.
And that's where like the downtown reveal comes in, right? Like, where'd you get this gadget? Yeah, I haven't seen one of these in years. And then it's like, I got it from downtown. And then it gets tense again, like immediately about that. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like the most tense family dinner where I'm just like, this is uncomfortable to be sitting. Like, it's supposed to be kind of twee and saccharine, I think, but like it ends up being so uncomfortable because they have this big fight. And then a video call comes in live to the dinner table. Like, everyone can see it. They're sitting at the dinner table. A video call comes in from the precinct, and they're just like, hey, Brogan, our informant got murdered. You better come to the office. I'm just like, in front of the whole family, you're going to announce this? And then, like, the wife is just, like, annoyed. She's like, you don't see your kids ever. You don't spend any time with your family, and you're going to leave right now? He's just like, I got to go. And I'm just like, this family dynamic is a mess.
Yeah.
This is what's funny when if you think of this show as a kid's show, because you imagine it's 8 in the morning and your kid just watching this, you're like, I don't like the way these parents fight.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing feels like borderline HBO drama around like a cop who's like really broken and how it's like breaking his family. But it's like, no. There's a hot dog on the car. There's a corn dog maker on the car.
With extra ketchup.
Anyway, there was a witness to the murder of Slick, a alien named Armand Loster.
Great alien name.
Who is now a new, different, weird-looking alien. I didn't get the name of his species, but how would you describe this brand new alien we now get to meet?
Very
gray
blue.
and wrinkly.
Yeah.
They're always wrinkly.
Oh, so wrinkly. Nose on the forehead this time, though. We're playing with the nose position.
Did he? He had a nose in his forehead?
It was like this. He would like blink it. He could like blink his nose. It was so weird.
He looked to me like a blue, slimy Jabba the Hutt with legs.
Oh yeah, I remember the one. Yeah.
What was the boss Nas, the King Jar Jar Binks?
Oh yeah.
I got a little bit of him.
I also thought, did you ever see the BBC miniseries of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? He looked like the Vogons on that.
Kinda, yeah.
He was so weird, and he's like, Brogan and Haldane basically have to keep him safe at Hotel Nirvana until it's time for him to testify. That's the rest of the episode is this. They're keeping him safe at a hotel. And the whole thing, every time we cut back to the hotel, it's just gags about him being an alien. Like, he's slimy, so when you shake his hand, it's slimy, but it's fun for him to participate in a human custom. He's eating deep-fried mice. He's got weird-looking kids when he shows him his kids in his wallet. We never see the kids, but, like, Haldane pulls a face when he sees his children. At some point, he has a CGI tongue that like shoots out of his mouth like a frog to catch flies that are flying around the room.
Specifically swamp flies, just so you know, because they're quote unquote attracted to him.
It's nothing but gags around what a weird guy this is. Even though like the actual alien Armand is kind of like a guy you'd like to hang out with. Like he's kind of nice. He's kind of a guy you wouldn't mind hanging out with.
Just a jolly dude.
Yeah, he seems cool, and they treat him so badly.
He's so mean, yeah.
But Luke, he's different than them.
He's different than them, and there's one thing the Brogan and Haldane don't like: anyone different than them.
Yeah, they can't stand for that.
No.
Anyway, while they're doing this, taking care of the witness, the bad guy Garsham is brought into the precinct to await his trial, I guess. But he's hatched the most haphazard plan to get out of this. I was just like, there's so many ways this plan could have gone wrong. But essentially, he comes into the precinct smoking a cigar, and when they tell him he can't smoke in the precinct, he puts it out in a potted plant on the front desk. But he's hidden a microphone inside of the cigar butt so that he can listen in from his cell as the two dumb front desk officers talk, hoping that someone's going to slip up and reveal the location of the witness against him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really impressed with his knowledge of how often they clean the potted plant and how reluctant they are to clean up put out cigars in the precincts.
He's a criminal mastermind.
Truly.
He truly is. And I mean, his plan works almost immediately because Tookie starts feeling better, and Detective Castle races out of the quarantine ward, runs up to the front detection, and is just like, quick, where's Detective Brogan? I need to tell him that Tookie's feeling a little bit better. And they're like, oh, well, he's on assignment protecting witness. She's like, but where? Tell me exactly where he's located right now so I can call him and say Tookie feels good.
And then this person who's in protective, like basically witness protection service, in this open like police floor plan, they just scream out the hotel name and like floor number.
It's insane. And the guy's listening in his cell on an earbud, and he's like, oh, I know where they are. Can I please talk to my lawyer real quick?
And you guys made fun of the plan.
I know, it worked perfectly.
It worked, yeah.
Anyway, he sends hitmen to the hotel, and as the hitmen are on their way, Brogan is busy using the hotel video phone, like in front of everybody, basically, to have another tense conversation with his wife about not coming home to his family to spend time with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he's done with this fight with his wife, he's like, I need to go get some air. It's I can't stand it. My son went downtown again. He got a slam ball haircut. He's got two different colors on the back of his head now.
Classic slam ball.
The haircut was insane.
It was insane. I do love the idea of a slam ball haircut.
I believe when he hangs up the phone, he walks out and says to Haldane, "Stupid woman."
No, he doesn't, does
Or
he?
something along those lines.
Yeah, I think he uses the term "stupid woman."
Yeah. A kid show.
Yeah.
He needs to get some air after this tense conversation. And my favorite part is like, I'll be right back. I need some air. And he goes to leave, and Halligan's like, we leave in 10 minutes, man. Where are you going?
He has to go to the vending machine.
He's like, we're going in like 10 minutes. You can't wait 10 minutes. We're going to get some air. But yeah, he goes to the vending machine. He doesn't have enough credit on his credit card to buy a soda for some reason, so he has to put a coin in. I was like, what is happening here?
World building.
Well, I thought it was going to be, that was like a plot point. You're going to find out something happened. There's a reason the money was down, but it's like, no, it just doesn't work. Like, does it matter? Nope.
He just really, he's got a lot of debt too. We need to know that he has a lot of debt. Of course, he bumps into one of the hitmen in the hallway. They get into a laser fight. Brogan kills him. He rushes back to the room. The next hitman just dives through the hotel window, arguably 20 plus stories in the air. I don't know where he's coming from, but he dives through the window. He's able to take the witness hostage, disarm the two cops, and he's just like, well, you're about to be executed. Cut back to the family's home. The daughter's like, hey, Mom, can I call my friend real quick on the video phone? Mom's like, yeah, go for it. But video phones in this world, what happens is if you turn your TV back on, it just reconnects to whatever the last video phone you were on is. Like, no ringing, no calling. Whatever video phone you were looking at just immediately turns back on. So always be wearing pants in this world. Anyone could turn on your video phone.
Because I think that there was actually like a what's it called? Like a little foreshadowing there, because when they ended the call, when Brogan ended the call with his wife, there was a message that flashed on his screen that said, "Video call ended. Please turn off screen." But he just walks away. So his screen
Oh.
was left on. So yeah, there is a technological loophole, like a weak point that you found.
Someone in the writer's room was like, "We need to explain this. Put up a thing
Somebody's
on
gonna
put
call
it
it
on
out.
screen." So she turns on her video phone, they see their dad held at gunpoint, about to be executed, and of course the son shouts, "Oh no, daddy!" And that distracts the hitman for just long enough for Brogan to murder a man in front of his family live.
Yeah, and he's like, well, takes care of that. Anyways, I'll see you guys later for dessert.
Well, that's what I love. He shoots and kills a guy on camera in front of his whole family, and then his wife's just like, his wife yells, "What's going on?" And he turns to the camera and says, "I'm fine, gotta go, love you," and he turns it off. I was like, okay.
And like the body is like positioned as close to the camera as possible. He leaves it on, knowing that the technology works this way. That as long
We've
as
learned
this is on,
he never turns the screen off. It's just the
No.
thing. It's too much work.
yeah.
If you guys want to call back later and see the body, I'll leave it on so you get another good look at it.
It's just a reminder.
They hop in the flying squad car and they get in a chase, but the car's damaged by laser fire. And of course, because we showed a remote control gun that shoots things in the first act, we have to use it in the third act. So the bad guy hitman shoots another one of these remote control devices onto the police car, starts flying their car from his car, basically attempting to like crash the police car with the witness into a building. But thankfully, the witness has his super long CGI tongue, which he opens a window and lets it slap around a bunch on the hood until he pulls the remote control device off. It flies off, miraculously lands on the hitman's car, and the hitman's car flies into a building and explodes, killing dozens, if not hundreds of people.
Yeah.
So many people died.
Yeah, but that's on all the blue guy.
That's the blue guy, yeah. And it was what I loved, it was a double checkoff moment. Because not only was the remote control gun introduced, the long tongue was introduced, and both had to be used, and they were used simultaneously at the same time for the same scene.
My favorite part is they're driving in that car trying to escape. There's a whole chase sequence happening, and they're like, "Hey, Armand in the back seat." He's like, "At least you'll have something to tell your kids when you go home tonight." And Armand's just like, "Yeah, I'll have something to tell my kids. Never fucking trust the cops." I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that was a great line.
I was like, whoa. Weird lessons all over this episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, Armand the witness, for no apparent reason, now starts choking. Why did he start choking?
Was there a reason? I don't know. He just starts dying, right?
He just starts dying in the back seat.
I assumed he extended his tongue or something.
And like Brogan has to climb into the back. This is amazing. Brogan's driving. He's like, "I'm gonna climb in the back and give him CPR. You take the wheel." And Haldane's like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Well, Haldane, he's not driving. Why doesn't Haldane get in the back?"
Yeah. He skipped CPR training.
He gets in the back to give CPR, and Haldane's like, "Do you even know where the guy's heart is in his anatomy?" And Brogan's like, "Nah, I got no idea."
Because that's like another like part of the, like maybe something they're gonna talk about with xenophobia that came up earlier was like he killed the original smuggler and the chief of police was like, "You were supposed to bring him in, but you killed him." And Brogan's like, "How was I supposed to know his heart was in his armpit?" And he's like, "Well, you should have known that about biology of aliens by now." And so like then when he's like, "How do you even know where his heart is?" I thought this was gonna be like there was gonna be like a lesson where he's like, "I need to learn about alien anatomy." But no, the lesson was, I guess we'll bring him to the hospital.
Yeah.
Like, just leave it to the experts.
It wasn't a requirement in his transfer from New York.
I mean, she has a good point. He's been here 20 years. You think he'd learned a little something.
Yeah.
Anyway, we cut to the court. The judge is going to dismiss the case against the bad guy due to lack of witness. But then they're like, "What if we just had him call in on video call?" And they're like, "Yeah, that works too. Why didn't you guys do it to begin with?"
From the hotel, yeah.
Yeah. So they call from the hospital. The witness points out Brogan. He's like, "That's the guy who did the murder." And the bad guy punches his lawyer in the face for not getting him off. And then on the video screen, Brogan and Haldane in the middle of the courtroom pop on the video screen and gloat. They're like, "Gotcha."
Yeah. That punch is such a good punch, too. It sends his lawyer flying.
Oh, this is the Hulk punch.
It's the Hulk punch. He nails him so hard, and he goes flying.
And here's the thing about the bad guy. Normal human. Not a weird alien with like superpowers. Just a normal human. So's his lawyer.
Yeah, every single other person in the show, alien.
Yeah.
Anyway, Days saved. We get a little epilogue where we didn't talk about this, but at the start, Haldane and Detective Castle were flirting at a gun range. So at the end of the episode, they're back flirting at a gun range, and maybe they'll go on a date sometime.
Yeah. That's about all you need to say about that subplot.
The two front desk guys, they did win the slam ball tickets by playing that video game all episode, but the chief confiscates those tickets, gives them Brogan so that he can solve his father-son relationship by taking his son to slam ball finals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's I guess that's like, yeah, and it's like this very sweet, I guess, moment.
And then they imply that he sleeps with his wife.
Yeah, well, then his wife's like, now that you're a good father, let's get it on.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is supposed to solve that family dynamic we saw all episode, because that family dynamic needs therapy.
Tremendous amounts, yes.
Anyway, that is the pilot. It's such a wild episode. There's no time to like gather your thoughts. Just so much happens, so many people introduced, and then it's over. So let's get into the IMDb summary for episode 2, Enforcer.
Captain? We ID'd our friend here as one Nick Roberts, 23, young punk that used to run with the Hydra gang.
Yeah, not the kind to sit at home knitting shawls for grandma.
So what punched his ticket? Any visible wounds, signs of drugs?
Preliminary scan indicates cause of death was a heart attack.
Heart attack? At 23?
It's one hell of a fatty diet.
When members of the notorious gang start turning up dead on the streets of Demeter City, all trails lead to a mysterious young girl and her guardian. A con man, I don't know what this word I wrote is, something who promises to end the violence on the streets of Demeter City for a price. I did it.
You did it.
So this one starts off. We see one of the aliens. I think this might be a Krogan. What did I call him? Kroian.
Same as Tukey, right?
Something like that. Creon. A Creon. What's his name?
Oh, I don't remember his name. I'm just saying the same as Tukey, the same like Yoda dudes, right?
No. This one's a Creon. He's the same as the chief of police because he's an old blue collar guy named Sleven.
Yeah.
His name is Sleven.
Oh, yeah.
He's coming home from work. He's talking to his wife on the video phone in the car, promising her a vacation to New Hawaii, where you'll need to put some moon screen on my back.
Nice.
Which is awesome.
So it says a lot about New Hawaii. Lots to learn. And when he gets to his front door, some punk holds him up with a knife-mounted brass knuckles. Crazy. He just holds up like 6 blades in his knuckles. I'm like, okay. And he's holding up for cash. This is where one of those 3-eyed psychic aliens pops out, a man named Trask. Mm-hmm. And with him, he's got a little alien girl named Vala, who, this is a new alien. We're seeing a new alien, this little alien girl. How would you describe this girl?
It's Megamind. It's a little girl Megamind. But pink, but with a pink brain instead of being blue.
That's exactly.
Yeah, it almost looks like she's kind of got like an exposed brain, sort of, is what the back of her head sort of looks like.
Yeah, a little cone heady, but with like it kind of looks like it might be an exposed brain. Anyway, Trask confronts the punk who's mugging Slevin, and then pops his chest inside of his heart using apparently mind powers and saves the day because Trask is here to clean up Skull Street or Skrull Street or School Street. I couldn't figure out how they were pronouncing this the entire episode.
There were at least 2 or 3 different pronunciations I heard.
Well, no, and it's another good point because not only is everyone an alien and everyone has got these gigantic heads, it seems like everyone has a different accent. And we were watching it being like, hold on, aren't all these people from the same place? Even if they're aliens, they're all growing up in the same neighborhood. You'd assume they'd have similar accents, but they don't. They're all wildly different.
I think this is where we're seeing a lot of British actors having to do not their original accents.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
But this is because it's happening here. This is all going on, and we'll see the crime scene the next day because this episode is all about not Brogan, not his partner Haldane, not Detective Castle, but it's focused on Brogan's boss, Captain Rexton Podley, one of the Creon aliens who for some reason has an Irish accent. He's like an old-timey Irish New York cop.
Isn't that an interesting decision, though, by the writers to have introduced this new TV show? And here's your characters, and this he's a ladies' man, and he hits on people while they're at the shooting range. The other guy's got problems with his family, and they're racist. and then you're like, all right. And then like episode 2, disregard everything you learned in that episode. There's more people we're gonna follow. Like, oh, okay, sure. Are they all aliens that kind of look different? Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Good luck keeping
Yes.
track.
Yeah, good luck keeping track. One's called a ziffer and one's called a zopper. I'm like, oh, okay, great. Yeah, the ziffer's bad, I think.
Captain Podley, chief of police on this, or captain of police, I don't know how the hierarchy works, on the Space Precinct. He grew up on Scal Street. I'm gonna call it Scal Street.
Mm-hmm.
And when they get there, he's looking at the crime scene and he's lamenting his old home street, like where he grew up. He's like, and I believe he says when he's lamenting it, quote, "Some streets are like dying uncles. They look worse and worse."
Yeah.
It's like, is
That's
that
a
a saying?
classic. Oh, in his culture, it's a classic one. You might have not heard it before.
Some streets are like dying uncles. They look worse and worse.
Which you could conceivably say about anything dying, right? I don't know why
They always look worse and worse for some reason.
No, it's just uncles.
just uncles.
He knows the streets. This is where he grew up. So they bring in the leader of the punk gang, the Hydras, for questioning. And it's Andy. The leader of the gang is Andy, a nice British lad.
Yeah.
I was like, nothing scarier than a gang leader named Andy. He doesn't know anything about what happened, but when they release Andy from the precinct, he immediately goes to see the alien Slevin to find out what happened to his boy who was murdered, because like he knows the streets. And he's threatening Slevin, like, tell me what happened. But Trask shows up again with Vala, kind of just pops. They just keep popping up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And Trask is going to pop Andy's heart, but Slevin begs him not to. He's like, he used to be a good kid. Let him go. And so Trask lets him go. And then Slevin's just like, thanks for all your help. Here's a giant wad of cash I keep laying around in my garage. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Well, they sort of established very early on that you're not quite sure what to think of. Is it Trask?
Trask, I believe. Trask.
And it's sort of like he's sort of a vigilante, but then you get the sense very early on that his motives are rather crass, that he's taking money for doing these things. So he's less of a superhero and more of perhaps like a mafia-like figure.
Yeah, you're supposed to know he's questionable. Like, he's saying he's a good vigilante, but are vigilantes good, I think, is the question here.
And like very immediately transactional. Yeah.
Yeah, he's happy to take the cash. Anyway, since gang leader Andy wasn't killed, of course he just goes and gathers his entire gang up, and they go to try to like kill Trask now. And we just get a sequence where like Trask is just popping hearts left and right. Just guys are just falling over. He kills the entire gang immediately.
Just like hiding behind a forklift, just blasting people with his heart powers. Yeah.
And we get a little bit, we go to like the apartment they're living at or something, and Trask kind of reveals some backstory. We get this throughout the episode. We get the backstory of Trask and Vala. And essentially, Trask found Vala in an escape pod at some point and has like basically been acting as her guardian. He keeps telling her that like once they get enough money, he's going to bring her back to her family, because apparently she's from a little known race of aliens who lives on the Rim worlds, which is so much world building. The idea that there's more aliens and Rim worlds and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, this world is huge.
They spend so much effort in every single line, as many lines as they can, building the world out. Seriously.
And what it is that Trask, as we know, these three-eyed Yoda aliens have psychic powers and can like move things with their mind, but he's actually not the one popping hearts. It's Vala. Vala has the ability to pop men's hearts inside of their chest, and he's just using her for that purpose. And we've been thrown off with like a sort of a misdirect at the beginning to make us think that.
Here's the thing. Is it a misdirect? Because I wasn't sure. Or is it that he is using her to magnify his powers?
I think by the end we're supposed to think it's just her. I think they make it look like at times like he's leaning on, he holds her to his chest and like he does something, but I don't think he's doing anything.
I think it's I also think we're supposed to think it's like an amplification, but then by the end, yeah, I think it's supposed to just be her.
So really, in the end, she's just a horrible murderer.
Yeah, she's been basically like manipulated into having so much blood on her hands. It's pretty rough.
Yeah,
It's rough like those streets. You know what I say about those streets? They're sort of like your aunt dying. Just get sexier and sexier.
Oh my God. And that's why we never go downtown.
Yeah.
Anyway, Trask now calls a town hall meeting of Skrull Street. I don't know how this would work. He somehow managed to get every member of Skrull Street together to like hang out at a community hall so he can talk to them. And he's basically like, listen, I've already cleaned up the gang here. so you guys should pay me half of everything you own. And I was just like, you did this in the wrong order, man. You're supposed to extort them before you do the job, not the other way around.
I also think he's gone in too hard. Don't go at 50% to start.
Yeah. That was the crazy part. He's like, he looked at a room full of dozens of people. He's like, I'll clean up your streets, and all I ask is half of everything each of you owns.
Yeah.
It's a terrible pitch.
Anyway, Slevin is like, well, this doesn't sound right. This guy's not a hero like I thought he was. So he goes and he calls up his old buddy, Captain Podley. He doesn't like Podley that much because Podley used to live on that street. They used to be like, not friends, but, contemporaries. And Podley got all bougie and left for the suburbs and left them all to rot there. But he needs the help. Slevin needs the help now. So he's like, calls the police station. Podley's not available, but Brogan's like, yeah, I'll come meet you somewhere. Oh, yeah, I got some free time. We can go meet up. But as Podley's driving there, Trask kind of figures out what's happening, and Trask causes Podley to crash his car and die. So, like, covering his tracks, I guess, is the idea.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I just thought of something. Wouldn't it be a better thing for Trask to do? He shows up to that community center with all the people, and he's like, hey, I got old prunehead girl here. Give me your money. And they're like, no. And then he's like, do it. And then she just like gives someone a heart attack. He's like, all right, next, give me your money. And they're like, no. He's like, heart attack, next. He there you go.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a real time saver.
That would make more sense.
See, you should be the mafioso here.
Yeah.
You know how to exploit a young girl.
That's the true lesson here.
Oh, I should say one thing. Why did they dub her voice? It looked
We'll
terrible.
get that. Well, let's get to that.
Yeah.
Let's get to that in a second. Because here's the thing. Podley's dead. Brogan goes back to the Skrull Street Community Association, who's always meeting. This community association on Skrull Street is always meeting. And he's like, what happened? And they're like, we can't tell you. And then he's like, come on. And they're like, okay, there's a guy named Trask.
Yeah.
Like, they give it up so quickly. Trask is arrested. He claims innocence. He's just like, I don't have the powers to pop hearts. I can barely lift a coffee cup up. And he basically gets released after Podley threatens him. Like, you better get off this planet or I'll have every cop on your tail. And then Vala ends up going into, they're like, we're going to have to put her into juvie hall for safekeeping because she's an orphan. And then Brogan's wife shows up at work and she's just like, let's foster her. I heard about this girl you found on the street. Let's foster her.
Yeah.
Well, you got to get the Brogans, I should say. You got to get the Brogans in somehow.
Exactly. And we go to another family dinner now with their new foster child.
She has to sit there and watch the two of them just scream at each other. She's like, why did they bring me to this house?
This is where we meet their fuzzy alien rat pet that's sitting on a perch who, like, appears to, like, speak and have sentience, and, like, you have to ask its permission to pet it. Never gets into details about that.
Only the daughter can speak its language, yeah.
It looks a little like a flying squirrel. That's how it looks.
Mm.
And this is what it is. Up until now, this entire episode, Vala never speaks. She's, like, always mute. And when Brogan puts her to bed tonight, this is the first time she talks. She's like, the trauma's dissipating. She feels safe. She feels like speaking. And you're right. The little girl's lips start moving, and an adult woman's voice comes out of her mouth in ADR, and it is out of control.
Yeah, and it's not even like a close match.
Mm-mm. And it's like an adult woman like doing falsetto almost.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's not like they're like, oh, we're going to give her an unusual voice because she's an alien. It's more like a little girl recorded her lines. They're like, we don't like them. Bring in someone else to dub over it, but not a child. I was like, it's so awful because she talks so much going forward in the episode, and every time she speaks, it's like so unnerving.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the point is she's got like a little like musical box globe thing that she like always is playing with.
Yeah. And essentially what she does is she explains to Brogan basically the exploitation for money that Trask was up to with the promise of returning to her family. So they kind of get this idea. It's like, oh, Trask really was a bad guy. He was the one who was sort of running the show and like using this girl. Of course, Trask has been released from police custody, and he just shows up at Brogan's house. Like, I guess he's just in the phone book. He just knocks on the door. He's like, I'm here to pick up my child. Yeah, I believe you have her. But Vala's still sort of under his sway. She still believes he'll get back to her family. So Vala like squeezes Brogan's heart, doesn't pop it, but squeezes it so they can leave. And then Trask gets in his space car, calls up Podley on the phone. He's just like, "Hey Podley, I'm just coming back to the police station. I did all the murders. I lied earlier. I'm gonna turn myself in." And I was like, what is happening here? What is the plan? I didn't understand this at all. And when they explain it, I still don't understand why he's doing any of this.
Just money, I guess.
Well, that's the thing, but that's not it. He gets back to the police station. I guess because Podley was like in his Irish cop accent, brogue, Podley was like, if I ever see you around this place again, I'm gonna have a cop chase you around. And he goes back. He's just like, yeah, you threatened me when you released me, so I've come back with my little girl, so I'm popping cops' hearts now, and I'm going to crash the entire Space Precinct into the planet just because you were mean to me. Like, his whole thing is like, I'm going to murder every cop now. That's his whole plan.
I mean, he's just got that chip on his shoulder now about about him getting
That's
all
a chip
bougie.
on his shoulder.
Yeah, being all bougie and moving up to the suburbs, and so he's like, you know what, a cab, and just crashes them all into the planet.
It's so bizarre. Like, that's just it. He gets in. He like uses the girl to like pop hearts. He gets to the place that controls the station. He knocks it out of orbit. But Brogan arrives, sneaks through an airlock, overpowers Trask, and then he's like, Vala, watch this video of his interrogation where he says he doesn't know where your parents are and is never going to return you. Vala, which is, I think, the most interesting turn of this episode, is Vala's just like, she like squeezes Trask's heart, and then she starts squeezing Brogan's heart too. And Brogan's like, wait, I'm a good guy. And she's just like, everybody's manipulating me. I'm done with this. Everybody's dying. I have all the power in the situation. I'm tired of all of you manipulating me, which I thought was like a really interesting character turn, because like truly everyone's been manipulating her. Brogan, everybody's like been messing with her all episode. And then Brogan just gives like a speech about how like some people are good, like me. Don't pop my heart. And she's like, oh, I see the error of my ways. Let's right the space station and everything's good now.
No, I loved that the twist where she went like full dark path, like, which isn't like dark. It's just like a very understandable thing for a little girl to have like come to a conclusion to in that situation. It was great.
Well, yeah, I thought it was really interesting. I'm like, this is a cool turn. This would be an interesting character. But like, it's, it's, as we've said, borderline a kid show, so someone has to tell her like, I am good, so you should not pop my heart because there's good in this world. Yeah. I, the xenophobic cop, am the good person, so let me live. Anyway, Space Precinct's put back in orbit. The day is saved. We get a very saccharine epilogue where they're like, we found Vala's family and now we're going to return her. And they have a big goodbye. They're like, it was so good to meet you. And like, she gives her prized possession to Brogan as like a thank you as they send her away. And I'm just like, what a weird way. It's such a saccharine ending to the episode. It's like, what a weird ending.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I guess her parents weren't looking for her?
They're on the Rim World. They're backward people.
Oh, right. They're the Rim World. Yeah.
But those are the first two episodes of Space Precinct.
You sound like one of the gang members.
We can discuss Skull Street. Or is it Skull Street? You guys have any thoughts? Anything we didn't cover in these episodes you guys want to talk about before we get into ratings?
Mine was just my favorite line from the show when Trask and the little girl are back in his apartment, and he has his own food replicator, and they can only produce these little meat discs, and he just says, replicate food for 2 people, and he brings it over, and he says, it's not much, but it'll bite. I'm going to start saying that because that's such a good way to say something about humble food. It's not much, but it'll bite.
I love it. It. Here's the thing, is this show is tonally all over the place. Characters are quite unlikable at times. But man, oh man, is this a show to watch. There's so much to see on this show.
What it is again, I think they haven't quite nailed the tone, and whether they will as the show goes on, I'm not sure. But you can't say it's not distinctive. Like, I don't know. I thought it was going to be one thing, and then I started watching, I was like, oh, I don't know what this is. This is like if they did a Muppets show really seriously from the writers of NYPD Blue. I was like, I don't know what this is.
I don't know if I ever want them to get the tone right. Like, I think it's at its best version of itself right now, where it doesn't even know what exactly it is, and it's like doing things that make no sense, and characters are like, they don't mean for the characters to be the way they are, but they are the way they are. I don't know. It's a bad show, but it's one of the most watchable bad shows we've watched in a long time.
Extremely watchable. I will be watching more episodes. Like it's a very entertaining thing to watch.
I can't believe I haven't heard of it before. It's got so much bizarreness to it, and like the just purely even the puppetry work and the miniature work is so good that it seems like it should be like a cult hit, but I've never heard of it in my life.
I mean, the budget has to be huge, right?
Oh, giant budget.
It was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a British show in 94 too. It's like I'm like, what is happening?
No, they clearly went all in on that. They're like, this is going to be it. This is going to be our big show. Everyone wants fish-looking, gross, big-headed people that are struggling to carry it on their shoulders. That's what the audience wants.
And it's unlike normal British shows, which run 6 episodes. This is a 24 episode. Like all of this is just like the aims were so big for this.
Oh, there are 24 episode seasons?
This is a 24 episode season. It's insane.
That's actually wild. Yeah. Wow.
You have to find out what happens at the end of those slam ball finals.
Gotta know.
All right, you guys want to get to ratings?
Mm-hmm.
So, Basil, how this usually works is we like the IMDb scale of 10. We usually do it out of 10. You can sort of choose how you want to do it. If you want to do it very critically, just like you're a real media critic, you can be very realistic about it. You can rate it on like just pure enjoyment level. That's totally fine too. There's no right way to do this. It's sort of how you feel in the moment. But we'll start with the episode "Protect and Serve." I guess the pilot episode to this TV show.
For the first episode, episode, I would give this one a strong 8 actually, because it made me want to watch the second one. There was so much going on, and they planted so many seeds that I was like, yeah, okay, you had me at extra ketchup on the hot dog, to be honest.
Jordan, what do you think?
First episode, I don't know. I have mixed feelings on it. There's stuff I like about it. Like I like the look of the special effects, and I like the miniature work. I like that there's so many aliens, although I would again make the point maybe too many aliens. As you watch conversations with two people with gigantic heads. But I don't know. It's weird. I'm gonna go 6.5 the first episode.
6.5. Wow. I think I'm gonna go 8 as well.
Oh my
There's
goodness.
something about the alchemy of how bizarre this is to watch. I was at all times upset by every alien I saw, but I couldn't take my eyes off them. They're all hideous and fascinating to look at. The characters are both the most awful but realistic portrayals of themselves. Like the first 3 lines that are said are the most stilted dialogue I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, what is happening? I couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah, I was just fascinated, just fully entranced.
And then the second episode, Enforcer. Basil, what do you think about that?
The second one dropped off a bit for me, just because like I was so invested in everything they did in episode 1. I wanted more of that. So I think 6.5 would be mine for the second episode.
All right, Jordan.
Yeah, I'm also dropping. I didn't really like this episode. It just felt like it was the same scene over and over and over. They didn't quite have enough content for a full episode. But I'll give them a little something. I'll give them a 5 out of 10 on this one.
5 out of 10. Wow, you really are not enjoying this show.
It's not that I'm not enjoying it. Like I was saying, it's a fun little show. I just don't think it's a particularly good one.
Fair enough. I don't know. Yeah, I do agree. I think this episode didn't work as well. I did really like watching all the stuff with Captain Podley. I loved him, Slevin yelling at him about like leaving the neighborhood and never coming back to help again, and like moving to the sun. So much of it is like, it's such a weird show. Like the character dynamics are so overly dramatic and like very grounded, but they're being said by 2 like wonky-eyed aliens who are blinking weird at each other the whole time. It's hard for me not to be watching this. Obviously, I don't want as much with kids. It doesn't work as well. And, like, the family stuff was way too twee, I think, this episode. It was better last episode when it was really tense and uncomfortable and, like, too family realistic drama. I'm going to go 6.5 as well, I think.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I will be watching more of this. For sure. For sure.
Yeah, I need to know where it's going. Like, I really am invested in how this can be this bizarre, and I have never heard of it before. But that brings us to the end of the episode. So, Basil, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, this was a blast. Thank you for having me. Thank you for introducing Space Precinct 2040 into my life.
Which doesn't take place in 2040.
It takes place in
Does
2020
not.
for some reason. Truly, yeah, thank you. I when we booked you, I hadn't watched any episodes yet, and then I watched the first episode. I was like, oh, what a treat. What a treat this will be for you.
Perfect, especially because I am a huge sucker for practical effects and puppetry. So I was so locked in from like the first 10 seconds. I was like, what is happening? So exciting.
Just overwhelmed with Muppets.
Yeah.
But that'll wrap it up for us here. So if you want to see what's going on Space Precinct, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Blue Sky. The handle there is @ContinuumDrag. There's so many clippable moments from the show. It's hard not to clip from the show. And if you have any thoughts on Space Precinct, of course, you can always email us at continuumdrag@gmail.com. And that's it. So, listener, thank you for joining us. And Jordan, I'll see you next week.
See you then.
Can't get enough Continuum Drag? Commission a bonus episode for charity.
Want us to watch an episode we missed after using the escape pod or during a best of run? No problem.
Is there an episode of a series we've never watched or a TV movie you want us to cover? You got it.
Wish we'd comment on your favorite movie, content, or other weird media? Sure, why not?
All you have to do is make a donation to one of the charities selected by past guests on our website.
We suggest a donation of $50 per television hour of content we're watching, but everyone's means are different, so give what you can.
Get all the details about bonus episodes for charity on our website, continuumdrag.podbean.com, or follow the links in our social media profiles.
Continuum Drag is recorded in Ontario, Canada, and Seoul, South Korea. Theme music by James Rick Seidler. Produced by Jordan Dullock and Luke Black. Special thanks to Aaron Hughes.